The iPhone XR, is it worth it? That is what we're here to find out. The decision to move over to the XR as my main daily driving phone was not an easy one. Opinions on the internet varied as to the quality of this device.
The iPhone XR is a sick freaking joke.
All right, now let's talk about the thing that I am most excited about. The iPhone XR. They saved it for last, and they seem to spend more time talking about this than the other ones. And rightfully so. I mean, I have been saying for months and months and months that this is the phone I believe will outsell all the others this year. Even before we really knew what it was going to look like, I told you it would look insanely similar to the iPhone X, and that's all Apple needs right now. They need this phone to look like the new one. The average consumer has no idea about the specs.
June 24, 2010. That's when Apple was capable of putting a 326 ppi display into a smartphone. All the way back then, and they're still doing it to this day. And I can't figure out the reason.
Our little orange friend is built like a solid, low-resolution brick. If Apple charged $500 or maybe even $600 for this hardware, I'd be pretty pumped. But charging $800 after tax for this is like robbing an old folks' home. Yeah, it's easy, and your targets won't notice, but it's just wrong.
Having most major flagship devices at my fingertips, I decided to camp on the iPhone XR for the past 3 weeks. I wanted to put this device to the test, uncover all the major deficiencies with this lower costing iPhone. Let's take a look and see exactly what compromises I had to make when switching over to the iPhone XR for the past 3 weeks. I have to start off by saying what I'm sharing today is my personal experience, which means nothing I'm saying is wrong. There's no need to challenge or get disrupt over anything I'm saying. It's my personal opinion based on my personal experience. You can have your own opinion too. Why did I buy the iPhone XR? I found this device a little bit different than the regular iPhones. With that in mind, I looked at this device and I was like, there's something different about this. Something a little unique, something that I just couldn't pass up. I had to know, is this a budget iPhone or is this just a different iPhone? The specs. Oh, the specs of this device is what makes it different. Apple went out of the way to ensure that the user experience was not disrupted or disturbed when making this device. They cut corners where necessary, or at least where they felt it was necessary, and there's only a handful of areas that separates this device from its big sister, the iPhone XS or XS Max. Let's start on the outside of this device. The iPhone XR comes in a handful of beautiful colors. Blue, of course, that's the color I went for. Yellow, orange, red. While the iPhone XS and XS Max only come in silver, black, and a new gold color. I would show you my gold colored iPhone XS Max, but I have a camo Debrin skin on it right now, so I can't. The rear camera is different. The XR is only sporting a rear single f1.8 aperture lens, while the big sisters both have 2 dual lenses. All lenses are 12 megapixels. The XR only has 3 portrait lighting effects. That's right, natural, studio, and contour. Well, the XS Max has 5, adding stage and stage mono to that list. Let's move on to the front-facing selfie camera. They all have a 7 megapixel f2.2 aperture lens with the same technology. Here, the XR does not fall short on selfie portrait effects at all. They all have the same 5 effects: natural, studio, contour, stage, and stage mono. So Apple clearly cut corners on the rear-facing camera while preserving the features and the functionality on the more popular selfie camera. Due to only having one lens on the rear-facing camera, the XR is only capable of digital zoom up to 5 times. Well, the XS Max and the XS have up to 2-time optical and 10-time digital zoom. The XR is only rated IP67 compared to the XS and the Max with a rating of IP68, which means you can safely expose your XR underwater up to 1 meter for 30 minutes, while the big sister can go up to 2 meters for 30 minutes. All in all, they can both go in the water, take an underwater photo, and they can get a little wet with no worries at all. let's move on to the screen. This is where you can head to the comment section and tell me all about what you think about what Apple did with this screen. It is a factor when buying a phone. On paper, the stats of the XR screen is the lesser quality device. However, what if I told you you don't know what you don't know? There's no question in my head that the screen on the XS Max is better. It just is. I'm using the Max version, and it has a 6.5-inch OLED screen, multi-touch display, compared to the XR with a 6.1 LCD, still multi-touch, but it has a liquid retina display, which means the edges and the corners flow and curve to the end of the phone, and it creates that whole little curve to the edge look. That's what they mean when they say liquid retina. There's no liquid that makes up your screen. It's an LCD screen, so I don't know why they call it liquid. However, if I never used the Max before I walked into a store and they showed me the LCD lesser iPhone XR model, I'm here to tell you that it is stunning enough to keep my attention. That's correct. All through using this device, I never once thought or felt like my screen was not good enough. I never thought that my blacks weren't black enough, that my reds and yellows were undersaturated. That never even crossed my mind. What Apple did here is cut the cost of the screen, still managed to optimize the software and the hardware together to give you, me, us the best possible user experience it can within the limitations of the hardware. To wrap it up, the outside comparison, the screen, the camera, and the IP ratings are the three major differences. Now let's go ahead to the inside of the phone and see what the major differences are there. The storage options are a little bit different, but I don't really think storage option really makes or breaks if you're going to buy a phone. They're just options. They're not really going to have an effect on the performance of your device. You can go up to 256 gigs on the XR and 512 gigs on the XS Max. The chips, well, they're both sporting an A12 Bionic chip, which is Apple's pride and joy at the moment, so we're not getting a lesser experience here. So, all in all, there's not really too much to compare about what's under the hood of these two devices. They're all pretty equal all the way across the board. I don't even know what to share with you right now. It's basically the same phone on the inside. Which brings us to the question, is the iPhone XR worth it? Value is more than just cash that you have to shell out to make a purchase. When I think of value, what value does a device bring to me? I'm thinking, how does it enhance my life? How does it make my life easier? How does it make my life more integrated and fluid? And it hits the nail on the head. When you're within the Apple ecosystem, because that's where we are right now, and you want to look and see which device is going to be the best for you, if you've never been exposed to the XS or the XS Max, then the XR is an amazing option for you. However, it's cutting corners. You are getting a lesser of a device, but you don't know what you don't know. I'll say it again. In the event you have to have the latest and greatest top of the line technology, maybe I'm like that, then you're gonna go for the XS or the XS Max. But if you're okay with good enough, gets the job done in a cool sporty color at a really pleasurable size, right? Because it feels great in the hand, then this might be the device for you. It comes down to it. Is the device worth it? Are you willing to shell out a few extra $100 to have the latest and greatest? Or are you going on a device payment plan and you rather have a device payment that's $35 a month versus $50 a month? That's what it's coming down to here. But it all adds up over time. You have to ask yourself what you want and what you're going to do with your phone. Personally, ever since switching back to the XS Max 2 days ago, I'm missing my XR. I'm literally trying to talk myself into staying in the XS Max just because I bought it, even though the XR is good enough. It got the job done. It had phenomenal battery life. It fit great in my hand, and I love the color of it. So now that we know all of this, what am I gonna do? Head down to the comments section right now and tell me, what do you think I should do? Should I switch back to the 10R or should I stay with the 10s Max? Mind you, I bought both phones outright cash. They're both beyond their return period, so they're mine. So I'm not gonna be able to return one. So which one should I use? Let me know what you think. Head down to the comments below. Closed captions for this video are brought to you by rev.com. That's rev.com. Videos that have professional closed captions generally get more views, are more searchable, and bring in more international participation and viewers. Not to mention, it also opens up your views to the American Sign Language community. There's a link in the description that you can click on and you can get a $10 coupon on your next closed caption order. There's a link in the description. We have a giveaway going on. Click on the link and get the details. For the love of tech, go in your drawers, go in your closet, go in your refrigerator, go under your bed, pull out your old electronics, dust them up, shine them up, give them to someone that doesn't have them, and for the love of tech, put a smile on someone's face. Namaste. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Thanks again. Namaste.